Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Generation Man Podcast by Segun, and thank you once again for joining our webinar this Sunday. In this season on the channel, we'll be discussing things that relate to career because on the New Generation Man channel slash podcast, our goal is for everyone, not just men, everyone out there to have all the tools and resources they need to be the best version of themselves. So, in view of that, I decided to create this channel and post, topics related to career development, and things along those lines. So for the past few weeks, we have been doing that, and we've had a lot of insightful discussions that have to do with career. And so this week, we're taking it further to take a deep dive into job search burnout and strategies to cope. We do know that everybody wants to like elevate, do better, get better jobs, and be better in terms of their career. But I did realize that for some people, it could be very frustrating when you are doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you get rejection emails and things like that, and you even ask yourself, what am I even doing with myself? You get, I know you might have that feeling. So when I thought about that topic, I was like, okay, who can I who's within my contacts that can speak better to this topic and give proper insight into uh that type of talking. So I noticed that on my contacts and on LinkedIn, I know someone that is a job application support person. Part of what she does is that she helps you land your dream job and help you with job application support, because there are some people that are actually very busy to even look for jobs. So part of the services she offers is that she does offer help for people to help them submit their job applications and help them, similar to what I do, but our own is more intense. So I felt that okay, she would be in a better position to have this conversation with. A funny story, we also worked together years ago back in Conga Online Shopping Limited as customer service representative, where a lot of us started our careers. So, but the good thing is that we kept in touch since then, and we share ideas about career related issues, strategies, and things like that. So anyway, without further delay, I would like to welcome my former colleague and friend, Mabel, to the call right now. So she's going to be taking the floor, and she will take a deep dive into job search burnout and strategies to cope. So thank you so much, Mabel, for coming on to the webinar today, and thank you for making out the time.
Thank you so much, Segun. Thank you so much, Segun. It's nice to be here.
Yeah.
I It's been a while, yes, but then I'm just grateful that we kind of kept in touch and then
Yeah.
we are here today. Okay, I think we should just dive in so we don't have to waste anybody's time.
Yes. So just go straight to what you have for us. Share your screen. And like I see that someone has raised their hand. So please let's just know that during the end of the presentation, we'll take questions and we'll also get opportunities for others to contribute. Okay. So please let our speaker just go ahead to share what she has for us. Go ahead, Mabel.
All right, please hold on. See my
Okay.
screen now.
Okay. Let's see. It's coming up.
Okay.
Oh, excellent. Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. As Segun earlier said, my name is Mabel, and I'll be talking on job search burnout and strategies to cope with it. I want to believe every one of us actually, not everybody, but a few persons have actually gone through the whole job application process. And for one, I would say I have had a fair share of that particular thing. I think it's much easier now when we have to, you can actually reschedule your appointment when you get the application or when you get interviewed. Unlike then when I finished university, I think then once you get an interview invite, I was based then in Port Harcourt, and you get an interview invite. All you need to do is to travel all the way from Lagos, travel all the way to Calabar, travel all the way to Akwa Ibom, just for you to go for an interview. But right now, I think it's a bit fair, thanks to technology and all of that. But nobody, when another thing is when someone comes to share the good news about, oh, I've gotten a job, nobody tells you about the the mental, the physical, and the exhaustion that came, in the process of looking for this particular job. So, what exactly is job search burnout? It's a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by a prolonged job hunting. And as a job assistant executive, I would say that I have had to apply to jobs I have had to apply, to quite a number of jobs actually, and it can be very, very frustrating, because at the point you start feeling helpless, you start feeling like you're not doing so much, or you feel that you're not worth it, even you're not worth particular position. And it's actually something that everybody goes for, everybody experience, and we don't really talk about that part. We all about, oh, I've gotten this gig, we come on LinkedIn and say, I'm glad to share that, yes, I have gotten this job, and then the congratulations starts coming in. But we all know that this emotional part is not funny. At the point, I also experienced the same thing when I was looking for the remote job. And I also told myself, I think I'm tired. I beg. I was tired of, getting we regret to announce, we regret to announce. It's not a funny thing. It makes your morale really low. It causes rooms for anxiety, depression, fatigue, and then you start feeling really stuck. And at the end of the day, you don't even want to do anything related to, the job search anymore, because it's quite frustrating. And well, you may ask, why does this happen? It's also because you've had to apply to a number of jobs countless times, repeated, what's it called, rejection emails, silent. I think I even prefer the rejection emails to silent treatment, where recruiters just what's it called, they just ghost you, and you ask yourself, okay, it's better for me to know that, oh, you're moving on, or I did not qualify, than for you to just leave me stranded without even knowing what exactly I have done. And because of this the new, what's it called, the new way of applying for jobs right now, the ATS format, it might look like, oh, job application or job search is really, really tedious, because you need to constantly tailor your resume to this application. Resumes are not supposed to be one size fits all. While I started as a virtual assistant first of all, and then I had to niche down to become a job application assistant. I did not know that it was a thing. It was a thing. I didn't know. And I was like, when I first of all got the offer, I felt, oh, people actually outsource job application to people. I wasn't really sure. And then I was doing it with the best of my knowledge. And I was just doing it like I'll just carry one particular CV and apply for 1,000 of jobs. But it's over time I had to learn that you need to tailor these CVs or resume, as the case may be. You need to tailor them. This also tailor your cover letter to meet that particular job application. And also, why does this happen is also because of the pressure. If you have not been broke, I don't know. I'm sure most of us have actually been nice. I've actually experienced that before, where you tell yourself that I think I'm giving myself a target or a deadline for me to get a job, for me to get a job, and then to start meeting ends meet, as the case may be. It's not really easy. The pressure is so, so much. And it's looking like some people will just tell you that jobs no day outside though. You need to hold the one that you have now. There's this particular word somebody said to me. I think a job at hand is better than a bed at hand is better than the one. And then you now sit down there getting stuck with the other job you've been doing, because you say in your head there is no job anywhere. And the job board can be really, really, it's more like the more you look, the less you see. I'm saying this because I know I've applied to tons of applications online. Most of these job boards, I don't have the statistics to it, but I would say a lot of them, there are so many fake jobs on these job boards. I won't lie to you. Even before I became what I am right now, you apply to jobs. I'm going to use LinkedIn as an example. You apply to job on LinkedIn, and what you get, you'll be hoping to get maybe a response from them. Before you know it, what you're getting is somebody telling you to do a survey. I don't know if anybody has experienced that before. Someone tells you to do a survey, and then we'll pay you a particular, money, blah blah blah. Or some persons will tell you that for those who are virtual assistants, somebody will just come and tell you that, oh, you need to perform in tax. In fact, I'm even going to fact this morning. I woke up to a message on my WhatsApp, somebody telling me that, oh, I need to, how did she put it again? I need to apply, I need to give reviews, yes, of their company, and then I'm going to make cool 60,000 naira per day. I was just like, I'm sorry, I don't like easy jobs. I think I would just prefer to look for the hard jobs and do them myself. And I had to block that individual. And then when you're applying for this job, we all have this mentality. It's not like, I don't know if it's a mentality, but we all know that in Nigeria, as Nigerians, when you are planning for something, when you're conceiving something, we need to hide it. So when you're applying for a job, it's a process where you don't have to announce it. And then you isolate yourself because you do not want the next person to know what you're doing. You just want someone to know that, oh yes, I'm doing this thing, but at the end of the whole thing, I come back with my testimony. It's not when it gets really frustrating that you now come out with like, oh boy, I don't tire for this application, something, you know. So the signs that and signs you're burnout, signs that shows that you're actually burnout. It's where you have like all this dread, the dread email we all do not want to see. We regret to announce. I'm sorry, we have to move on with the next person, or location for those who work remotely. You know, when Nigeria happens to people, where they'll say that, oh, we're not recruiting because you're from Nigeria. I don't know who has experienced that, but I have experienced that before. And then you stop, you just get tired. And like I said, you stop tailoring series, and like somebody sends you back what's it called? A job invite. And at a point in time, you just feel really tired. I'm like, I beg, oh, thank you very much for sending me. But you're just tired because you constantly have to tailor this particular resume to meet this job role. And it's a competition, it's also a game of numbers when it comes to job application. So it's a bit tiring, a bit frustrating, and then you just wish that manna comes from heaven, somebody recommends you, you know, to a very good job. And sometimes you start bringing this questions: am I good enough? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? You know, as when I started as virtual assistant, or when I started at this particular job, I was at the point I was like, I think I need to learn more, because I felt I wasn't confident enough. So sometimes when you do these particular applications, or you set for this job, and then you will not see a particular skill inside the job recommendation or job qualification, like, oh, you don't know how to do Trello. You will run to YouTube. You run to people doing project management and training. You run there to do maybe the Trello courses. You do the ClickUp courses. So you just find yourself doing a lot of courses, learning a lot of skills, and then you do not still get this job. And I believe it's really, really annoying and frustrating. It has a lot of emotional impact, which is self-doubt, loneliness. You feel really lonely, you feel frustrated, and then the imposter syndrome, who keeps telling you that you think you're worthy enough to, you know, apply for this job. Why don't you go for, oh, I'm really sorry, NEPA has happened to me. Please hold on while I turn on the lights. Hey, Nigeria.
No, I love you understand.
Ah, they will come out from this thing. They will be very, very, will be the happiest people alive.
Okay, but we can still see your face clearly, so go ahead.
Yes, I had to turn on like a solar generator. Just hold on, let me fix it properly.
Okay.
So I'm really sorry about that. I'm sure many of us are not from Ukraine. You're here in Nigeria, so you understand. So these are the things that really, you know, gets you really worked up emotionally. And but I will always say mental health is everything. Mental health is really important because you need to be alive to actually work or do the job. I had once had a client who told me that, oh, maybe I would want us to have, I would want you to apply for jobs, and I would want 75, no, he said 75 jobs per week. And I was like, okay, 75 jobs per week. It's not like it's not doable. But are you looking for quantity, or you're looking for quality? That is what we need to, because I need to tailor every job role, every resume to a particular job role. And that's what I'm talking about here, which is the 5 strategies to cope and then to also recover. You need to be intentional. Like I said before, one resume does not fit everything. It's not a one size fit all. This is not fashion designing. It's actually, you need to be strategic in application. You need to be strategic with a whole lot of things with the application, your resume, You don't come and repeat the same thing you have on your resume. You just bring it down in words or in storytelling on cover letters. It doesn't apply that way. You need to also mention that as well. You need to also build quality over quantity. Build quality over quantity. And then you need to use these keywords and customize your resume for each role. These keywords are really important. You're applying you're applying as a data analyst, and what is on your the point on CV where you have your name. There's a part where you're supposed to put the title or the job, the position you want to go for. You need to make sure that particular position, that particular point has the same job role you are applying for. Now your that particular CV is like your CV for data analyst, but that the job you're applying to is business data analyst or business analyst. Please, I beg you in the name of God, keywords is what we're looking for. You need to customize it, change that thing from data analyst, change it to the role you are applying to. That's what you need. So you need to put more keywords so that the ATS machine or the ATS actually see that you have a lot of that in place. So the next one is for you to take some breaks. You don't feel guilty about it. You have to be alive to actually get this job. So you need to breathe. Do not feel guilty when you're taking breaks. You might have done application for a period of time while I'm also applying on the job. And when I feel really tired and fatigued, I just rest. And I'm not really ashamed to. I'm just grateful for the kind of clients I have. I could just tell them, like I think on Thursday, I was really tired. I was falling ill, and I wasn't just because it takes a lot of reading. I was like, I need to sleep a little and come back to the job. And it was like, enjoy. You get, you need to rest. You cannot be productive when you're worked up. You need to rest when you're doing this job application. It's a lot of work. It's a job itself. Breathe and feel like you're not wasting your time doing this thing. You need to rest. Also, you need to create solutions often during this rest time. While you rest, you see that you have a lot of ideas coming to you. Maybe you've used this particular strategy as a cover letter. You can actually like, okay, let me just tweak it a little and see if this is not working, you can actually change it. And then you can also store these resumes or these formats in your just save them. I know the one that works for you so that you can change it, apply this, and then tweak them accordingly to see which one works better for you. And then the third strategy we're using to cope or to recover is to focus on what you can control. What you can control, ladies and gentlemen, is resume and cover letter. You do not know the recruiters in one-on-one. You don't know them one-on-one. You just need to please just make sure you put so much effort. Like this is what they are seeing. This is like what they have to see. That represents you there. So please and please make sure you put so much attention to it. Quality, so much every I don't know the word to use, but just make sure it has a lot of quality, not quantity. It's not a number of you need to just have been a brand manager and of this. No, it's not about the big names here, please. But you just have to demonstrate. Tell them in your resume, demonstrate the roles you had done, and not just list them per se. LinkedIn optimization, it's something that you cannot overemphasize. The LinkedIn presence and it's like your first impression, because every recruiter today gets your resume will definitely go to your LinkedIn to see how your presence is on that particular um, platform. So you need to optimize your CV. It's not about you trying to look for color popping things. There are strategy, there are things you need to lay down for you to actually, optimize your LinkedIn. You mustn't be there 247 like people like us. So you must not be there. But sometimes I think you can actually engage. I noticed that engagement actually works very well for LinkedIn. And then take courses, upskill. You were a customer service 2 years ago. There are a lot of things that have changed. Tools have come and gone. A lot of things are changing. As technology is advancing, you also need to advance with it. I was doing I just finished an AI course, and someone would ask me, maybe what does AI, as in how does AI courses relate to job application? You need to streamline a lot of things. So definitely automation is really important because it's a repeated task, and then I don't want to, you don't want to get worked up on these things. So you need to upskill, you need to take courses, to help you, up your game. Seriously, your mindset also is something you need to work on. The other thing we see physically has to do with your mindset. I can give an instance of somebody telling you that, oh, I want to apply for a job, but I have, I know someone who keeps saying that she wants to get a job, but often and not, she just keeps saying she has this, it's like a veil, I think. She has this age thing on her head. Oh, I don't clock more than this. I don't think they will accept it. That people are not collecting people at are 45 years old doesn't mean that other sectors are not collecting them. I've preached and preached and preached, but it's a mindset thing until that person decides to, remove that veil before he or she can see the lights. For me, it's a mindset thing. And then you put so much energy. Before I started doing what I'm doing, I think I started living in it. Like, have to call your reality and start living in it already. You also need to build support. Talk to people, talk to mentors. Someone who's working in a particular place you would want to work. You can actually ask questions. It's not like you want to take the job from the person, no, but you're asking questions because you want to mirror yourself towards that particular role. Also join communities on LinkedIn or relevant communities that would always educate, inform, and tell you things on tasks to do. What's the new trend? What is this? I remember when we were submitting our CVs then, when it was you need to put your full family name there, put your age, put your marital status, put your this, but it has changed. It has changed. And when I was telling someone, I'm like, let me see your resume. She's been complaining that she doesn't have a job, blah blah blah. She's been applying. And I was like, let me see your resume. And lo and behold, what I saw was 1960 kind of resume format. And I was like, you don't put these. And he was like, no, she had this beautiful resume. That's one that has a very crafted structure, picture, and all of that. But the 8 years cannot read blocks. It can't read blocks. So please try as much as possible to avoid such beautification on your resume. Talk to people and know what is in what the trend is actually. Connect to people, and also connect with people that also are maybe job seekers. You can challenge yourself. Oh, let's do this. You can actually apply for 5 jobs per day. I'm not saying that you cannot apply for 10 jobs in a day, but make sure it's not just quantity but quality. Try as much as possible to seek counsel from people, and always know that you are not alone. Even for someone who has a job is also looking for ways to, get a better offer. And then we'll come over to refrain from no as not yet. Rejection, to me, I have over time seen rejection as a step to my very big yes. That is what I keep telling my friends and anyone that cares to listen. So see rejection as you're not useless. See rejection as you're not worthless. See it as a redirection. See it as a step. Failure also is a process to your success story. So do not see it as, oh, as usual, I'm not worth it. No. So if you fail in this, you can actually advance and then re-strategize and also redirect yourself. You can also track your process. A lot of tracking of process for job application is very important. You might ask, you don't know what to use in tracking your process. You can just use the common thing everybody uses today, which is Excel, or Google Sheet work. Yes, Google Sheet. Yes, you use that. You just write the name of the company, the date at which you applied for it. Because most jobs on the job board, a lot of them are outdated, and then they will just keep. I don't know if you've seen it over and over again. Reposted, reposted. That job is old. And I will also give you this hint that please, if you're applying to jobs, especially those ones that easy apply, I don't really like applying, doing that easy apply, because if you go to that company's name, you might not, that company might not be existing. if you it might not be existing. That job post might not be existing. So use the job board. This is me now deviating from what I'm supposed to say, but use the job board as a direction, like a manual, a map. This job board is telling you that, oh, Mr. A and A is applying. Please go and look for A and confirm if that particular position is still up on that what's it called, on that company's list, and not just the job work trying to just meet targets or analytics or something. Please try as much as possible to see all these things, track them down. So in your Google Sheets, you can have your name, the name of the company, you have the location of the company. You can also check if it's a mail you send that particular job role, or you apply directly on the job websites. So these are the tricks you can actually use in tracking them. You can also put, if you're done interview, you can put interview is in progress. If it's rejection the person has, you can also indicate rejection. So that way you get to know, okay, what job you had applied for, how many jobs you had applied. Maybe in your success story on LinkedIn, when you're trying to tell us that I'm happy to offer that after 20 rejections I was able to get my number one job, and everybody comes and gives you the congratulations. And then comes growth comes with everything, with every attempt, really, no matter how small. With every attempt, growth comes with it. Do not see it as, oh, you're wasting your time, and just see it as a step to your big big testimony, whatever the case is. So this is bonus tip: celebrate your small win. I was just saying that small win, big wins, whatever win it is, please celebrate your win. It is your win. Own it with your full chest. It is your win. Somebody did something. What's it called? 50 designs on Canva. My dear, if it's easy, run them. It is your win. Please celebrate your win. You got a response, even if it's a no. You thank God. You don't need to about thank God outside or within you. But always celebrate your win. It gives you this mindset that you can do more. It gives you this mindset that you are not you are enough. You can't shrink because one company did not see the value in you. Just try as much as possible to just come out from the shell of a rejection, finish a new cover letter. Please try as much as possible to try and whatever you start, try and finish it. You have a cover letter that you feel has not been working for you, you can actually change it. You can actually change it. Thank God we have the help of the LLMs, to help you rewrite your cover letters. You can also give them a different prompts, just try as much as possible to ask questions from those who are ahead of you or those who are working, But a lot of times, some of them you might need to pay for it, or you can actually learn first of all from ChatGPT. Then we were in school, we didn't have the likes of ChatGPT, we only had Google search and all of that. Okay, so you can also network to people, I've said that before, people you admire, and then you celebrate it as they come. What else? My final thoughts, because I'm trying to give room also for questions, as job search burnout doesn't mean you're failing. I've said that before. It means you care and you're trying your best. You are not alone in this journey. Obviously, you are not alone. Even the professionals, people working in their job firm are also resigning in that job firm, looking for better opportunities. Nobody's loyal anymore. Nigeria is not loyal to us. So please don't be loyal in one firm that is not doing well. So you try as much as possible to give yourself grace. You have tried. Maybe you have tried. I will not, my mother will always say, my mother did not kill me. I did not kill my mother. I don't know how to say that, but you did not kill anybody. A job you never just still get, So over time, you can actually just give yourself a motivational talks, to bring yourself out of that shell of rejection. Take it one step at a time. Be kind to yourself, and just try as much as possible to strategize as you go. So I think I've come to the end of this particular section or segment, and then it's time for us to ask questions. So Shikun, I would want to ask, and then maybe anybody would want to ask, what has helped you cope with burnout in your job search? Drop your thoughts, experience, or questions, and I'll try as much as possible to answer them.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Mabel. But there were so many things that you said that I have reiterated on the channel before. But as you were
Okay.
talking, I was writing down some things that I wanted to reiterate. So you said something about we started with rejection emails. That a lot of times that when people apply, you do get rejection emails, and some people may tend to feel bad, especially when it's a lot. I remember a time like that. I was applying for remote customer service jobs abroad, and I was just getting rejection. In fact, it got to a stage that I was now thinking that do I know what I'm doing?
I'm
Because
telling you.
it was getting too much. It got to a stage that I had to stop. But the truth is that at that time, I not really understood the format of how you apply for international jobs and all that. So that was how I was getting rejection. So one, yes, if you're getting rejections, a lot of rejection, you need to take a look at it because it's possible that you're doing something wrong actually. So you need to
Yeah.
find out if you are sending the applications properly. That's one. Then I like the point you also made about the job board that some of those jobs on the job board may have expired. I like that point
Yeah.
that you should also go to the company's website and cross check if that job application is still opened. So for some companies, they also put it on their website or they put it on their LinkedIn. So before you waste your time and energy, because sometimes when you look at those other applications, it's always a long list of things you should fill. So
Sure.
before you take your time and start feeling that, why don't you just take a few seconds just to check and confirm to be sure that
Mm-hmm.
that job you want to apply for is worth your effort. So that's another
Sure.
point that I took. Another point that I took was that you said focus on quality over quantity. That's actually very true because sometimes some people may give themselves a target and say, I must land another job in the next 3 months. So to be able to do that, I need to send at least let's say 75 applications per week. But the 75 applications that you are sending, there's no quality there. You didn't take time to rearrange the covers letter properly. You didn't take time to fit the resume to the specific job descriptions. And at the end of the day, what you want to achieve, you will not achieve it because there's no quality. So as much as you want to, apply for a lot of jobs, the quality of your application is also important because the competition is stiff. Just like you were saying it, a lot of people are also vying for those opportunities that you are applying for, even those that are in current employment. Yes, and they are also looking for better opportunities. So that's that. I like the point you also said about taking breaks. Yes, rest. Because sometimes you getting a job. Sometimes it's not about the effort. Let me just say it now. Sometimes it's just your time because when it comes to recruitment, that's also another thing I need people to realize. Companies recruit for a reason. It is only when they need people that they
Yeah.
post out jobs. And to be fair, I've said it before that 80% of the jobs out there are not even advertised. That's the truth.
Sure. Yeah.
80% of the jobs are not advertised because the one I just got now, it was not advertised actually. It was because I was interviewed for a previous role that they felt I was not a good fit for, and they called
Okay.
me and I got the job. So
Okay.
80% of the jobs are there are not advertised, but this is a bit different from what the topic is, which is job application border. But I just feel that I should drop this tip for those that are here. I would advise people that the effort and time that you are using to actually search for a job sometimes, if you direct that effort into maybe your LinkedIn application and your LinkedIn presence and maybe
Mhm.
posting regularly on LinkedIn and engaging, that one may even land you a better job faster than the
Sure.
application.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue because that's another thing that I think people don't fully take advantage of because they feel that sending those applications are the main thing. The thing is that it can just be a comment on a post that you make that somebody will read and say, this thing makes sense. Let me go and check this
Yeah.
person's profile. And before you know it, they'll message you. So another thing I want to say, as much as putting yourself out there is very important and applying for jobs and all that, you know, if you take that time and energy that I even need to look for, if you direct it on something else, maybe engaging more on LinkedIn and all that, you could even deliver the results that you want.
True.
So yeah, so this job application burnout this thing because it's different for everybody and there are different strategies to cope, just like we were saying. Another point you made was upskill. You're a customer service person. Okay. What next? What are the things that you have learned? You need to
Mhm.
upskill yourself. And again,
Yeah.
also, take industry courses. That is in the customer service and customer success field, for example. What are the certifications that are necessary? Once you do those certifications and you share it, it shows that okay, you're very relevant in the industry, and industry professionals are seeing that you're scaling up. And you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned about AI too. Like, okay, AI is fast becoming a thing. How are you positioning yourself? In fact, that even leads me to what I want to talk about next because in the next few weeks we're going to be running like an AI training, for people on this channel. It might be or we might have a free version. But I just feel that AI is the next big thing. And as a channel
Yeah.
where we are thinking and we're trying to help people get the best knowledge for themselves to become better people, I think it's important that I equip the community with the knowledge of AI. So in the next few weeks, I'm going to be pushing out information about that. So please just stay tuned. If you want more information about that, you can message me privately. So, but I like that, thing that you said. Then you also said something about not being loyal. Although that was a bit funny, but I get what you meant in the sense, be loyal to yourself. That is the truth. A
True.
company, I would even say, they care about you, but they care about you to the extent of the value you can deliver or
In
to
your
the work
journey.
you can. Do you understand? So be loyal to yourself. That is, if better opportunities are out there, or you feel maybe you're working in a place for 2 years and a year and you feel you can do more, by all means, apply for other jobs and, get better opportunities. Do you understand? Because God forbid, if anything happens to you on the job, the company will definitely replace you. So why do you need to stay there and be saying you want to be loyal?
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, but do you understand? So, but don't get it wrong in the sense that we're not saying loyalty does not pay, and we're not saying don't be diligent in the work that is being committed to you. But the point is, put yourself first. You get? I think that is, that's the better way to kind of like say that. Okay, that's what we mean by being loyal. So yeah, basically that's the summary of the conversation. I would still like to hear, thoughts from others, questions along those lines. So yeah, someone raised their hand earlier when we started the conversation. I don't know. Okay, she's not on the call again. I don't know if anyone has a question. Okay. Okay. No one has a question. It could be a contribution or a question that has to do with job search strategies, question about job application. Let's just have that. Okay. So if you don't have any question, that's also fine. I'll just reiterate what I did again. Okay. Yeah, Ni has a question. So yeah, Olani, please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you
Yes,
are.
yes, please.
Okay, fantastic. First, I would like to say thank you to the facilitator tonight. I mean, you've really done good justice to the topic. I would just want to give a contribution to what has been said, and I understand that this whole job hunt can be very frustrating, and depending on the career path you're building for yourself. I feel like sometimes we forget that we can actually do some things like for free. And this is what I mean.
Yeah.
Or you're probably a content creator or probably a content marketer, and then you're looking for a role. You want to bang like a big role in content marketing, and you've applied several times, and you are unable to get good feedbacks, and you are frustrated. And Shegun said something the other time. He said that that time that you are busy applying for jobs, why don't you use that time to actually build yourself or build LinkedIn profiles or build content? So strategically, I would just advise anyone on the call that while you're waiting for that dream job, that kind of job you want, position yourself on social media. If it's a content marketing role you're trying to land, imagine a pseudo brand. Imagine something that it might not even be a name of any known brand. Just create a pseudo brand and begin to build that brand from the scratch, and then target people that you wish to work with. If there are agencies that you are wishing to work with, target those things that you're doing. If it even includes that you add their names, add it. Like, these are ways to get these people to see what you're doing. You can't be saying you are a content person and
Nothing to show.
your LinkedIn account is looking like what probably somebody in you can't expect any brand to come and look at you and look at what you're doing. This thing I'm saying, I am transitioning into the full content strategy, full content marketing and all of that. And I realized that I'm coming from sales, and if anybody wants to look at that, you've been doing sales all your life, then how come, what's the link? So I started creating content, and I was surprised that even some agencies, I won't mention their names, started sending me DMs because I started creating things that I know will be useful when I get into the agencies. So I'll advise everyone that please, if you're a data analyst, do dashboards, post them.
Yeah.
Use pseudo. In fact, you don't need to put any brand name there. Just do everything and put it out there. Don't hide. Don't hide, because that's one thing that happens during the time you're searching for jobs. You hide. You feel that maybe I'm not a good fit and all that. Put things out. Your confidence is built while you put things out. Basically, that's all I would say for that.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much, Alani, for that contribution. And I'm happy that to hear that you've been getting some traction on what you're doing. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm going to drop Mabel's LinkedIn page on the chat. So please, I'll encourage everyone on the call to please follow her on the LinkedIn. Okay, she posts interesting posts about job application support and things like that. So please also help her numbers on the platform to also grow on this. So thank you so much, Mabel, for coming on to the webinar today. This session has been very insightful. So if we don't have any other questions now, or maybe is there anything else you'd like to add before we round up?
Yes, I would like to add, the last, like Olani just said, talking about this LinkedIn presence, sometimes it's not, you don't even find these clients on your posts. You find
Mm,
them in your engagement.
mm.
You find them in your engagement, and they're also in your DMs. But it's not, oh, when I post this particular thing, it's going to be a mega shot, and then you start having people to no. Sometimes it's just in your engagement. If you can actually engage, and social media, you can't be a social media manager or what sort, and then you do not have anything to show for it. You need to put them, the tools you're using, you can actually, put them on there. I remember a friend of mine was saying something. She decided to learn about a particular software, and she was taking us on a journey on how she's discovering this particular thing, and somebody or someone was working on, has a tax on that particular with that
So,
particular, he had to reach out to her, and it was like he's impressed with what she's doing. He doesn't mind if she learns on the job with him, but he's really impressed, and that's how she landed her very first international gig. You get, so you need to put your presence there. Someone, a friend of mine once said, "Oh, she doesn't like the LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not for her. It's a bit intimidating." Right there, that noise. You need to just switch it off and just be intentional and know your why you're on LinkedIn. Optimize your page, and then you start building, not just waiting for the manna to fall from heaven. Just start building. Everybody's looking for, the so-called clients are looking for a solution, someone who can provide solution, and not somebody who's just sitting and waiting for a job to land on their lap. I think with this is what I just have to say in conclusion.
wow, thank you. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I totally agree with you. Putting yourself out there, because to be honest, that's what I'm also doing. Being consistent with these webinars every Sunday. I have 101 things I can be doing, but I just feel that okay, this is something I'm passionate about. Do you understand? And this is what I want to grow. This is what I want to speak on. Do you understand? So that's one of the reasons why I make it pushing this content out and all that, so that people will actually know you for something that okay, you're a career coach,
Yeah.
you're passionate about career development, like for maybe now, job application support, that's what she does. So it's always good to always stand for something and being keep consistent. For Olani to trying to transition into content
Okay.
strategies and things like that, and he is already on his way. So putting yourself out there is just what you need to do. And in the digital space that we are in, you don't have any choice. You have to be online. Do you understand? If you know
Yeah.
you want to be relevant, you have to be online. Yes, some people might say, "Oh, I'm not really an online person." Then, if you say you're not an online person, then you're not ready for the next level. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
you need to just really put yourself online. And yes, even if you are not the kind of person, maybe you are camera shy. Do you understand? Some people maybe don't like to show their face. There are other ways you can do that. So maybe you might use, maybe you might be good in writing, you might be good in pictures or something. But the point is that you need to find a creative way to put yourself out there so that you'll be known for something. Okay. So yeah, yes, thank you so much, Mabel. Okay, for
Thank
those
you very
insights, and
much.
thank you everyone for staying up to this time. So, like I said, for those that are just joining, my name is Segun Bashon. I am a career coach and a customer experience leader with over 10 years experience. I help early job seekers or those who are in their mid-level to strategize about their next career step, resume reviews, LinkedIn map optimization, interview preparation, and things along those lines. So if you have anyone maybe that needs help with LinkedIn optimization, resume review, or you need someone to come and speak about career development or career engagement, I'm your person. So that's what I'm into. So yeah, so please, if you'd like to connect with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn at Segun Basharon, CCME, or you can join my community and for job application support where I post job opportunities and I give opportunity for anyone to ask questions if they get stuck on their job applications and they need support. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the webinar. Thank you
You,
again, Gabriel, for the
thank
time
you.
spent. And let's go and have a great week. Thank you all so much. Bye, guys.